Pushing to failure is what separates guys from having absolutely attractive physiques from guys who have lackluster blobfish physiques where they look absolutely dog shit, let's be honest. Now, beforehand, I used to do 3 sets till 12, 4 sets till 12, these are just absolute redundant bullshit workouts which will get you nothing. And it was until I learned how to absolutely push till failure and train with intensity is where I built an attractive physique that actually got me laid. A lot of guys do too much volume or too less amount of intensity to actually get the physique that they actually want. Now in this video, I'm going to teach you exactly how and why you should push to absolute failure to get the attractive, sexy V-taper physique that you want. As a basis, you should know that there's certain muscles that actually matter more in terms of male attractiveness than others. And that's going to be your lateral delts, your upper chest, your lats, and your abs. Once you get these muscles in check, this is where you're gonna absolutely build your most attractive physique. Where you're gonna build such a physique that's gonna make girls absolutely drool over you and start to absolutely touch you and want to feel up all over your body and stuff. You know the gist. The nice thing is you don't even have to build that much muscle. What matters more is the muscles you actually build rather than the overall mass of how much muscle you build overall. The leaner you get, the more muscle that is shown, the more muscle that is revealed through how tight your skin is. And with that, you become more and more attracted to the point where you keep on progressing. You're gonna realize quickly that your squat and bench max doesn't really matter at all. Now, see, we all know why we're going to the gym. You want women, I want women. So let's at least prioritize what we're going there for. We're not going there to be absolutely power builders and absolutely gain such muscle and redundant mass that doesn't serve any purpose. No, we're going there to be sexy. We're going there to absolutely look attractive. And the way we're going to do that is we're going to build a V-taper physique by training to absolute failure and not training like absolute mass junkies who do nothing inside the gym. Because, for example, I met a girl and we were talking and everything like that. And we were playing around with each other and she started to feel up on my body and feel up on my ass as usual regular people who are sexually attracted to each other do, right? And she was feeling up my abs and I'm looking at her, I'm like, what are you doing? Like, you know, what's so good about it? She's like, I love your abs, like I love your body. And you're not gonna get that if you're this big yoked muscle mass giant. You're not gonna get that where a girl is absolutely fantasizing over what is under your shirt. That's not possible. So you have to be lifting to absolute failure where you can subject your muscles to the amount of force that's required to grow them. And that is pushing to failure, absolute maximum failure. Now, how do we do this? Where we push to failure is we're pushing a weight and we put a substantial amount of weight that we can do where we don't sacrifice form, but we can also lift the bar off the bench or lift the weight off the bar, whatever, right? And to do this, we want to lift in a 2 to 8 rep range. There's a term that I created which is called the Goldilocks zone of frequency training, where we do the absolute golden amount of rep ranges and sets that get us the most amount of muscle building and muscle projection. Where basically, right, you know how in the story of Goldilocks where you have 3 bears, the mama, papa, and the son or little bear or whatever, and you also have Goldilocks. And Goldilocks goes inside the mama bears, papa bears, and whatever bear's house, and she sleeps on 3 beds. The dad bed, right, the papa bear, his bed is too hard. And to translate that into powerlifting terms or bodybuilding terms is 1 to 5 rep ranges. 1 to 5 rep ranges where he does at least 1 set. Too hard. Too hard. You're not getting anything from that. It's too much of a high bar to get towards, and you're not gonna get any type of reward from it. And you also have the mama bear, where her bed is too soft, or in terms of bodybuilding, volume, where she's doing way too much volume. You're doing way too much volume, where you're doing 4 to 10 rep ranges, 4 sets, 5 sets, absolute redundant workouts where you're just gonna be soft at the end of the day. You're not gonna get any type of muscle build over that workout. Or you get the absolute golden point where you get not too hard, where you know you get the amount of muscle that you need to do from strength, and you do not too soft, where you get the amount of volume that you need, and that is 2 to 8 rep ranges in 2 sets. This Goldilocks zone is going to help you reach the peak amount of muscle that you can build, while also not letting you do redundant exercises where you have to train inside the gym for over 2 hours. No, we're using this to be absolutely effective and efficient while reaping the most amount of rewards, which is through the Goldilocks system. You use this system, you will gain much more muscle than even the powerlifters who've been in the gym for 3 to 4 years. Imagine that. You get 2 to 5x that amount of muscle returned than the absolute power builders who've been inside the gym grinding for at least 4 to 5 years. Now, respect to them, of course. We love them, but for what I know and for what I want to be able to fuck girls and not have to worry if my dick's gonna get hard or I have too much fat on my skin to the point where I can't even see my own dick. That's a problem. No, I want to be sexy, and the way to do that is by using the Goldilocks zone. We lift to absolute peak efficiency, and this is gonna get you on track to building that sexy V-taper physique where you can go into the bathroom, take your shirt off, and take so many shirtless pics that you can post them on Instagram, and you can go in the description right below it and see so many likes to the point where your crush or the girl you likes it. You talk to her, you take her on a date, next thing you know, you fuck her. You want to know how to do that? Go down in the description. I'll teach you exactly how to do that personally. Now, the last point is utilizing form. This is what's going to set us ahead out of the powerlifters, the CrossFitters. You're going to get the physique that you want faster by utilizing form. Now, when you want to do form, you want to go online, you want to look up the videos of, specific workouts that you're going to do. You're not going to go inside the gym and walk in there and do absolutely nothing or just pretend like you're trying to do something. No, we want to be going there and pushing for effectiveness and efficiency. And the way we're going to do that is we're going to be looking up the exact workouts that are going to help us build the muscle that we want to build, to use the attractive muscles that we want to use to get the sexy physique that we want to get. But the general basis to use form for the attractive muscles that we want to get is for the shoulders is you want to be doing shoulder raises where you're going to be lifting with your elbow, not this part, not your wrist, your elbow, so you don't tear a muscle and you can utilize the form properly to get enough weight. Because on the shoulders, you're not going to be pushing that much weight unless you're doing shoulder press, which is another movement that you can do, which is probably a lot more effective. But in order to get the absolute peak of your deltoid, you're going to be wanting to do shoulder raises, and you want to be lifting with your elbows so you don't tear a muscle. With your chest, you want to be doing a chest press or an incline chest press, where we're going to be working out this part, the upper chest of your chest, where we want to push upwards and outwards, where we can get the absolute most our upper muscle fibers right here. For the lats, we want to be using, there's multiple variations of what you can use for lats, but mainly you want to be using a lat pull down, where you use the bar and you pull all the way down to your sides. And you want to make sure you're keeping it straight. You don't bend your elbows while you do that. No. If you want to maximize your form, you want to be pulling all the way down in a straight line and maximizing that tight pinch. Pinch your elbows a bit to the side to absolutely maximize the tension inside that workout. And lastly, your abs. That's going to make the girls absolutely want to lick it up and drool over them. What I found that's most effective for the abs is decline sit-ups, where you're like this on the bench, right? It goes downwards and you lift all the way up. You curl your body upwards, and you can progressively overload this exercise by getting a weight, 25 pounds, 45 pounds, increasing upwards with the amount of reps and weight that you do. This is what I've found that builds that lower fourth of your abs, the lower part of your abs, that gets you that sexy V-line that you're looking for. And to get the whole abs is you want to be doing leg races where you go over to a dip machine and you want to be facing forward, and the pad's going to be against you, and you're going to be lifting your legs up, curling your legs. The key to working out your abs is curling your legs forward or curling your body forward. You don't want to be using your legs at all or your hips at all, because that's going to activate your hip flexors inside your legs, and you're going to be building your legs at that point. You're not going to be getting blocky abs. You're not going to be getting shredded abs. That's going to make you look good. Now, if you couple all of this while working the most effective muscle groups, where you train to intensity, you work out in those certain rep ranges with intensity. Remember the Goldilocks zone of listening. You don't want to be doing too much work and too less work. You want to be doing the absolute middle ground, where we go for absolute peak efficiency. That is where you're going to build the attractive physique, and you're going to be light years ahead of the power builders and the CrossFitters who are still doing redundant workouts to get at least half of what you build inside the gym in less of the time. My name is Bo. Go ahead and link in the description where I have a community where you can join it, and you will be able to build an attractive physique where you can get girls and get laid. Also, like and subscribe, and I'll see you later.